Hey guys, welcome to Shuddhi Vidya. In this video, I want to talk to you about some of the things that are upcoming in our channel in terms of what we're going to look at. So far, we've looked at what WordPress is, and I would consider this to be like a introductional module towards web development. If you're coming in with zero experience in web development, WordPress is a good entry point into launching websites. So WordPress is basically designed to give you a certain level of confidence that you can also do web development, web design. It's just to give you a confidence boost. That's the only reason why I've started off with WordPress. But it doesn't really constitute as a programming or development. It's more of a tool that is useful if you want to quickly build some static websites. And our real programming and web development only starts once you start getting into programming languages and things like that. So immediately after this introduction module, which we have completed so far, we're going to look into the foundation. And the foundation constitutes these three. These are the three fundamental units of web development. Any website you take cannot exist without these three. So these are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So these are all the things that go into what you see on the browser. So we're going to start off into delving into these, and we'll do a plenty of exercises for you to get comfortable with using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And once we're done with that, we're going to get into the front-end module. So the front-end module is basically going to be advanced front-end development. So what you see as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is kind of the bare bones of front-end development. When we get to the front-end module, we're going to see how we can use advanced tools to create beautiful user interfaces. So front-end development is also called UI development or user interface development. And we have a couple of options here. We can either look into Angular or we can look into React.js. These are different JavaScript frameworks which can be used to build some really interesting user interfaces. Both Angular and React.js have different strengths and weaknesses. Personally, I tend to prefer Angular for web development for various reasons. I don't want to get into those reasons in this video, but I'd be more inclined to get into React.js because React.js also helps you with getting into React Native. So React Native is an offshoot of React.js, which can be used to build applications for Android and iOS devices. So that's the advantage of learning React.js. It can easily lead you into app development for phones. And you can also do many other things, not just for phones. You can also build applications for VR and things like that. There are a lot of options with React.js. So we may be looking into React.js. At the moment, it's quite tentative. I'm just telling you some ideas that I have. So once we learn either Angular or React.js and React Native, we'll be able to build user interfaces, front-end parts of the website. But we also need to have backend. So for backend, I would prefer for you to learn something like Django. So Django is a Python-based web framework. It's designed to build complete web applications using the Python language. And Python is a fantastic language for beginners to learn. So Django is a very attractive option in terms of backend technologies. So at the moment, this is what I have in mind in terms of what to look at next. We're going to look at HTML, CSS, and JavaScript and look into some front-end technologies and then look into some backend technologies. And by the time you gain mastery in all of these, you're going to be a full-stack web developer. You can basically build any application that you desire, even something as complicated as Facebook or YouTube. Of course, you may have to learn a bunch of other things along the way. But if you get to this point and you follow along with me about what to do and how to learn, you should be fairly independent about how you should be learning technologies independently. So once you get to this point, you should be comfortable being an independent developer. After that, we can explore some other topics. So I have some topics listed here. You can see there's UX design. So as much as front-end and back-end development are important, it's very important for you to learn UX design as well. UX design basically stands for user experience. You do not want to develop an application that nobody wants to use. So it makes sense for you to look into how users think and what users expect and design your application accordingly. So that's what UX design entails. And second thing I want to look into is Cad Design. So Cad Design is basically the design of 3D objects. It's kind of unrelated to what we've been looking at so far. It's not about web development or anything, but it's a career in itself. If you manage to get good at CAD design, you can actually make a career out of it. So that's why it's interesting. The next thing we want to look at is data science. Data science is a huge booming field in itself. If you can get your hands into data science, there's unlimited opportunities in terms of career choices. And there's a lot of demand that is unmet. So you can actually go and meet the demand in the market with this kind of skills. Same with machine learning. Machine learning is very exciting as a technology, and there's a lot of impact that can be done with the right kind of knowledge in this field. So that is also interesting for that reason. So these are some potential topics that we want to get into after this. But for now, this is what is, planned. We want to look into the basics of web development and then get into front-end development using advanced JavaScript frameworks, and then get into back-end development using Python-based web framework called Django. And we'll see what comes after this. I hope you'll stick around with me for this journey. And like I said in the first video of this channel, if you stick with me for the next year and maybe year and a half or 2 years, I'm going to take you to a place where you can be independent as a developer and also make a career out of your skills. I'm very excited to help you out in becoming financially independent and also an impactful player with your technical knowledge. So I hope you'll stick around with me and join me in this journey. Please comment on this video if you have any suggestions or feedback or some ideas or things that you want to see us pursue as part of this journey. And please don't forget to like and share this video if you want to help us out in reaching more people with our agenda. And also do subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.